Hello, Sam from Tool Hut. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to do a review of a piece of equipment. So, can you use the Power Max 12 volt 100 amp power inverter as a stable power supply for programming? Stand by. Sam from Tool Hut here today. Today we're going to see if you can use a Power Max 12 volt 100 amp power inverter intended for an RV as a stable power supply for programming. So let me make something real clear here. This is not a review of the Power Max. This is a review of using the Power Max on a job it's not intended to do. I also know that there are some people, some companies out there that are taking the labels off from these, reselling them as stable power supplies. That is the reason I'm doing the review. So, just so you know, we do not sell this product relabeled at Tool Hut. We refuse. So, take that for what it's worth. So stand by. Okay, so here's a question I get asked quite a bit. Is there a cheaper way to maintain battery voltage while doing programming? So let me tell you what I've got here. I have a Power Max converter, which is not a stable power supply for programming. It is intended to power an RV to maintain battery voltage while it's in storage. I have the cheapest set of battery cables that you can buy at O'Reilly's. They are the awesome 12 footers, 10 gauge. Those things might start a snowmobile. So I also have my Pico scope hooked up to a DLC breakout box. So what I'm going to monitor on my scope, you'll have a screenshot from the computer here, is channel A. I'm going to monitor just good old battery voltage. Channel B, I am going to monitor AC voltage. That's the problem with a lot of battery chargers, is you get an AC ripple. So we're going to monitor that. And then I'm going to monitor pins 6 and 14 on the DLC, just to see if it puts any noise on the data line. So let me get you guys set up here. The Power Max converter is brand new in the box, hadn't even opened it yet. That wasn't the intention. So here goes nothing. Alright, so here's the directions. We're not going to use those. Alright, let's struggle to get it out of here a little bit. We can see that it's not really designed to be portable right away. Get rid of the box. So this is the 100 amp version of this tool. Out of the plastic here. That's what it is. Power Max 105, 130 volt input, 12 volt output, 100 amps. Doesn't look real sophisticated. It looks like it's got some fuses here. This is where the terminals go for the to plug it into the system continuously. There's no power switch. So I already don't like the fact that it doesn't have a power switch or any way to know there is a 16.5 volt or a 13 volt setting that we might have to get into the directions about here. Then we have a 3-stage or fixed output. Personally, I would prefer the fixed output. So again, we might get into the directions here a little bit and see what we got to change there. Looked like a switch, so we're just going to take a gamble. Gonna switch that to fixed output. I'm going to make the assumption that it's set for 13 volts. So let's see what we got here. So since it didn't come with any cables, I knew it didn't come with any cables. That's the reason I bought these cheap jumper cables at O'Reilly's for it today. The first thing I'm going to do is a load on it. Let's just plug it in and see how noisy this thing is. I got a green light that says it's on. Not making any noise at all. So I guess that's a good thing. So I'm going to unplug it while I put the battery cables on it here. Because we're wanting this for doing programming. It looks like I need a flathead screwdriver. It looks like it'll take a decent sized set of cables. So I'm going to shut the lid on it. Alright, get those out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to cut the side with the warning on it just because I don't want the warning on my power supply. So we're going to cut it right up close to the clamp here. So you got a couple of nice clamps. Then I'm going to take the primitive approach to stripping these back here. I just thought of something. I made a critical error here. I didn't pay any attention to which side was positive and which side was negative. So let's see what we got to do here. See if we can remedy that pretty quickly. Alright, so the side I stripped already is the negative side. There is a nice plus and minus here. Get this unscrewed. Screw it back together here. Take the same primitive approach to this one. The reason I went cheap on the jumper cables is I just wanted something to carry 100 amps most of the stuff that is done with programming only takes 15 or 20 minutes. So these don't have to be super great cables. Matter of fact, I'd consider just putting a set of like 10 gauge wire with some alligator clips or some decent sized alligator clips on it. Thought this would be a better option. Alright. We got those good and done there. We'll run the power cord around the back here. Oh, I do have a spark out of them. I guess that's a good thing. And almost instantly, we noticed that we got quite a bit of noise. I'm not real impressed with the noise we got. So, if anybody knows it, considered half a volt is considered excessive on AC voltage. Now, I'm only getting about 1/10 of a volt here, so let's pull it down here so I can see it for sure. It is AC, so you got to double that. So 0.2 of a volt. It is pretty noisy. I'm going to turn the key on now, and let's see what happens to 6 and 14 here. Pull the computer off the table here. Alright, so we're running here on voltage. We're running 14.43 volts. Alright, so I don't really have much of a load on it right now. The key is on, got a blower going. So there's not really a lot going on here. So let's just stop it for a minute. Go back, let's zoom in on a screen here. Ooh. So zooming in, we're starting to see that we got quite a bit of noise, don't we? Pull this down. So we're about 230 millivolts. Almost 1/4 of a volt in noise. The data line also looks like it's getting a little bit of noise to it. I'm not liking the 6 and 14 at all here. It looks pretty noisy to me. Let's get out of here. Let's let it keep running here. I'm going to turn a few things on and let's see how noisy we can get it. Wow. That changed things, didn't it? So, let's let this run for a minute. We'll go back and zoom in again. Alright, so remember the red line is AC noise. That's AC voltage. So let's pull it down again. It's like about the top. So now we're all in 540 millivolts of noise. For your typical using it as a battery charger, I don't think it's a problem. Using it as a maintainer for programming, I think this is becoming a problem. So let's just zoom in on 6 and 14 here and see how noisy they're getting. It is staying pretty straight in the middle, but the noise here is just, to me, is unbearable. So my opinion is going to be not to mess with this for programming. So hopefully that answered some questions for you. I get asked all the time about a cheaper power supply for using it as a maintainer. What I'm going to do here is just to compare, just for comparison purposes, I'm going to get my Fronius out. We're going to plug it in and do the same thing. So we get this one unplugged, and I'll bring my Fronius out and we'll plug it in and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so I got my Fronius going here. My Fronius is showing 59 amp, 55 amps. It's on boost. This got the same exact load it had with the other power supply. So I'm going to let it run here just for a few minutes, and this is on boost, so the Fronius is working. It's just a 70 amp as opposed to this Power Max being 100. So what I'm going to do here, I want you to see the car does have some AC noise in it all by itself, so I'm going to unplug the Fronius. And see that this is the maintainer unplugged, and you can hear the OBD2 breakout box beeping because the voltage went low so fast, because it's got quite a load on it here. So I'm going to turn the Fronius back on. Now this does take a minute to start working, but I'm sure you'll see when it does. You can see that it got a little bit of AC noise when it first started, but it came right back down. So let's do this. Let me stop it. Let's go back a couple of screens. So let's zoom in. Trying to be fair about this. So go to the top of the noise here. This is just exactly what I did with the other. So just with nothing on, without the battery charger Fronius plugged in, it's got 207.2 millivolts of noise. Let's go on to the next screen here. So it had a spike, which I'm sure we expected. So let's go right about here. Alright, so this is after it turned on. This is the the noise of it getting going. We didn't do that with the other ones, so I don't think it'd be fair to criticize the Fronius there. So let's zoom in here. We'll zoom in again. We'll zoom in again. We can see our AC voltage at the top of the noise here it's actually cleaner without the battery, with the battery maintainer plugged in, than it is without it. So let's zoom in to our pin 6 and 14, just so you can see there's no activity on this bus. It's just talking. So the bus isn't abnormally different. So the biggest thing we'd notice between the two maintainers is the AC noise. So my Fronius is running at, let's see here, about 12.3 volts here. It is creeping up to 12.5 here. Just have quite a bit of work to do. Let the battery go down in the 11 volt range, so 12.69. We can see that the AC noise never really got out of hand like it did with the Power Max. So there is a few things that I would use that Power Max to program. Something that's going to take a long time or have a heavy load is not amongst them though. So .84. It's set for 13.4, I think, or 13.2. So it's not there yet. It is still boosting it, still running 50 amps or so, 51 amps on the boost. So, but like I say, the good thing to me is the AC voltage has not gotten out of hand. So, hope you guys liked the video. And if you did, subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more videos like this. It's the first real product review I've done, but this is a question I get all the time, so I thought it'd be a good one for a product video. Again, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe to the channel. Questions, comments in the section below. You can follow us on Facebook at Tool Hut USA. Visit our website at toolhutusa.com. The Power Max will not be available for sale on my website. Have a great day.